Hey, welcome to my channel. If you've seen my channel and seen my videos, you know that when it comes to football, I only talk about mostly about the New York Giants and pretty much them out only, unless it involves an individual outside the organization with a different organization where they're game changing the dynamics, like with Tom Brady and Bill Belichick, that whole issue. Brady being the goat and whatnot. Giants fan calling him a goat. So let's. But in any case, it was interesting seeing not the highlights, but for Tua Tagovailoa press conference, I was thrown a blast as to hearing that. To be honest, I mean, I hate to say this, but either Mike McDaniel has either he's lost his locker room or he's lost his QB. Mike McDaniel, I'll be honest, Mike McDaniel, from a football mind, I think he's there. It's just a matter of, I don't think, well, not being there, but more like I think he's got the IQ intelligence on the football aspect of things. From a management perspective, it's a little tricky. But the thing is the fact that Tua was calling out and saying otherwise. Of the fact of the matter is that like we had player only meetings, players weren't showing up, or players were late, etc. Basically, and then Mike McDaniel coming out to the point where, like, right after that interview, right after that conference with Tua, McDaniel says, Mike basically saying, yeah, my players are dealing with, they're playing up to the expectations of what they are. Essentially. My first thought was like, huh? So you're expecting to be 1-5, maybe 1-6, 1-7, depending on, like, basically having a losing record because you feel you don't have the team itself. It's possible. It's possible that the fact is like the player, he's lost the players. I mean, like Tyreek Hill, you were seeing Tyreek Hill originally in the beginning of the season. He's pretty much frustrated. Tua's now getting frustrated. But the thing is, here's the thing though. Tua has essentially put it out there in the open in regards to being the fact that what should stay in the locker room should stay in the locker room. He's airing it out. He's airing out his dirty laundry. The thing of the matter is two things. Here's two things basically. I don't think Tua has earned that right yet. He thinks he's like Tom Brady, where he can do this. He thinks he's like, Lamar Jackson, where he's earned that right. He hasn't. He has not earned that. If you say otherwise, I will refer back to his first 3 seasons. He was good. He was really good, but he was never reliable. Health-wise, he was never reliable. Let's be honest. This guy always got in. The moment he got injured, the team went, was pretty much out of contention at that point. But when he's there, he's good. But the thing is like, when it comes to Mike McDaniel and Tua, Mike had to, like, basically revolve the offense around him. I think he's realizing he can't revolve it around, even though the quarterback is the central focal point. The thing is like, Tua may not have those skills. Let's be honest. If Tua were to go to another team, I don't know what would happen there, but put it this way. Tua would not be able to pull this crap to John Harbaugh, Tomlin. Let's be honest. With those two, he would not, with John Harbaugh, or even both Harbaughs, as well as Mike Tomlin, basically. Like, Mike Tomlin is, like, the fact that he's been there the longest, there's no way he'd be able to pull this crap off of them, basically. It's the same thing with what Malik Neighbors did last year with Dable, basically, where he wasn't saying that it was Daniel Jones' fault. I think he was pretty much calling out that the offensive coordinator, as well as Dable himself, the coaching, was what the reason why is. Chances are it might be too, because, like, if you're looking at it, Daniel Jones is doing really well. But let's wait and see, because, like, right now, Daniel Jones isn't playing with a team or playing teams that are really strong and, whatnot, basically. It'll be interesting to see when he starts playing actual teams, like playoff-ready teams, or deep playoff teams, or teams with a very, very strong defense. it'll be interesting to see how he plays off with that. Let's see how he plays from that perspective. And also the other aspect is let's see how he plays the following year. Because let's be honest, it was the same thing with Dable and him basically. First year I was like, hey, he did really well, but when it came time, the Eagles at that in the playoff showed his weakness, and then everyone realized it. I think he may have adapted now, and then some of the offensive coordinators and the QB coaching, well, basically the coaching staff, but someone's going to exploit his weakness in the playoffs because let's be honest, the Colts are going to make the playoffs. He's going to get exposed, and then they're going to use that for next year, and then he's just going to go downhill again, basically. It's similar to Russell Wilson, basically. I'll be honest, I wouldn't mind if either the Bengals or the Ravens trading for Russell Wilson, because they're kind of looking at the Giants like, hey, maybe we should try to make a trade for Jameis Winston. We're not going to give up Jameis Winston. I don't think we should. We should try to get rid of, if possible, get rid of Russell Wilson. I mean, Wilson has that veteran leadership, but the problem is like he doesn't have the skill. Like the fact, you saw what happened on Thursday when he came in for one play. We all booed him. I was like, no! I was screaming at the TV. Like, why are you putting him in? You need to put in Jameis Winston. If Dable was smart, you put in freaking Jameis Winston, not Russell Wilson. Jameis Winston. But in any case, that's neither here nor there. The big factor is this: we're going back to Tua basically at this point. Tua airing out his dirty laundry. I think he's entitled. He feels entitled that he can do this. No, he's not. He's not earned that right yet. Until he gets the Miami Dolphins deep into a playoffs, or even into the playoffs for that matter, consistently year in, year out, he doesn't deserve it. Put it this way, he is no Dan Marino. He's no Dan Marino. If Marino would never pull this off to a Don Shula. John Elway kind of did a little bit, but he kind of earned that right once, Reeves got them to the Super Bowl 4 times. But reality is Elway kind of earned that right at that point. Tua has not earned that right. If he gets the Dolphins into the Super Bowl, they can win or lose. It doesn't matter. If he gets them into the Super Bowl, then he deserves the right to then he can start airing out the laundry. But he is none of these players. He is not a Tom Brady. He is not a Lamar Jackson as well, too, quite honestly. Lamar Jackson, as well as, Lamar Jackson is one, as well as, I'm trying to think of what other. He's no Patrick Mahomes. I know that. He's definitely no Patrick Mahomes. Because Patrick Mahomes definitely earned that right as well too. Lamar, Patrick. I guess you could say also. Who's that other guy? Josh Allen. Sorry, I was having a brain fart. Josh Allen. He's not these players. Jalen Hurts. I don't know if he's there yet because Jalen Hurts has earned the right, I guess, in a ways, because he has led those Eagles to the Super Bowl twice, and won one. So I think he's earned that right. He's definitely earned the right to air out dirty laundry if he wants to air out dirty laundry. Right now, he's not. He's doing the right way. He's going about the right way. Tua's not learning it from him. Tua. Like I said, he thinks he's earned that right, but in reality, he's not. I don't know. You let me know your thoughts. Do you think Tua has the right to air out the dirty laundry like that? Granted, Mike McDaniel may or may not be a good coach, depending. If he feels he's not a good coach, honestly, he probably should just go to the general manager and the owner, basically. Like, hey, look, Mike McDaniel's not it. He's lost the locker room. If you think this is going to be it, then you should trade us because he's lost the respect. You could see Tyreek Hill pretty much losing the respect for McDaniel as well too. Mike McDaniel. Honestly, I hate to say this, but Mike McDaniel, he might have a really good from the Mike Shanahan school that he probably can lead the team because McVay, Shanahan, Kyle Shanahan doing really well. McDaniel, for a while, he was doing good. So I think he can get there. I think he just needs to surround himself with the right players and the right personnel, basically. And he's not quite there yet because, there was an actual case where, I forgot, you know what it was? It was in First Take. It was, I forgot his name now. Not Stephen A. Smith. I forgot his name. RJ, I think his name is. I forgot his name now. For some reason. I forgot the guy's name now. Dang it. Uh, not not Cam Newton. Oh man, he was with the Steelers too. Oh, I forgot his name now. Dang it. Not Lou Dan, not Darnell Orlovsky. Um, anyways, he basically called it out to the point where he was treating the way McDaniel was as he was like a weekend parent. Basically, he didn't want to deal with all the responsibilities from a weekday parent, but a weekend parent. Like you got all the fun and everything like that. You're all hyped up and everything, and that's one of the interesting thing was, um, and that was pretty much I think accurately summed it up. That was a great analogy, quite honestly. I would say that was a great analogy, more than anything else. Ryan Clark, RC. I thought it was RJ RC. Ryan Clark. Uh, he had a great analogy actually, and that was pretty impressive actually. How he called it with Mike McDaniel. I think he realizes Mike McDaniel is a good coach, but he's that weekend type of parent basically where he doesn't want to deal with all the BS and everything like that. He doesn't want to deal with all the ins and outs, the little tedious stuff. He just wants to do all the fun things when they're winning and all that stuff. He doesn't want to deal with the losses, like how to correct it and whatnot. Same thing with Tua. Let's be honest, Tua, he's had interceptions left and right, and he's not correcting himself. He just wants to put the blame and like on the coaching, basically, on some players. Like, yeah, you're not running your routes. Reality is he's not reading them correctly, and that's his own fault. I think this is the first time I've actually gone way beyond the normal time frame allotted for what I would talk to about a team that's non-New York, specifically, Miami, Tua, basically, because to be honest, I think the only reason I'm doing this is because like we're starting to see this as a trend now with it's not only football players, but basketball players as well as baseball players. I haven't seen it with hockey just yet, but football players and basketball players for sure, as well as now baseball players here and there as well too. These guys seem self-entitled until they earn that right. And when I say earn that right, it's like, you're a superstar where you lead your team into the playoffs year in, year out, don't get injured, but also are consistent winning and also either lead them to like a championship, whether it be a Super Bowl, AFC champion, NFC AFC championship or divisional championship, basically, or for that matter, the NBA finals and whatnot, basically. Then I think you have the right to air your dirty laundry out to the public. But right now, you shouldn't. In this situation, if there's a player only meeting, if you're gonna air out their dirty laundry, why don't you just air out what was going on in the players' meeting at that point? Because like, what's the purpose of like having players only meeting and not telling anyone at this point? But you're willing to air out all the dirty laundry. These players nowadays coming out of college, coming out of high school, they feel like they're self-entitled, little. I'm not gonna say it because honestly, I don't think they have that right just yet. Do I have a right to like criticize them? Yes, we as fans are allowed to criticize them because that's what we are. You guys are being paid overpriced money, and we're paying our money for entertainment, and we're paying it for good entertainment. We're not paying for crappy entertainment. If we know it's going to be crappy entertainment, might as well go to a movie, or might as well just dump it off to whatever it is. If I want horrible entertainment, I might as well just go to like some B horror show type of movie or something like that. It's the same thing with movies. It's just like movies as well too. I'm not paying money for a crappy movie. I'm paying for a good movie to entertain me and keep me entertained. That's the same thing with the game itself. I'm paying to be entertained and to keep me in there, and I'm paying for my team. If I'm paying, put it this way, if I'm paying like, as an example, $50 for a ticket, I'm paying for my home team to do something. If I'm paying for the opposing team, I'm looking for the opposing team and looking for that entertainment, then we might as well give that money to them directly. Why are we paying our money directly to the owners for nothing if we're going for the opposing team at that point? So we're paying you, the home team, money to entertain us, but you're not. If we have to be entertained by the opposing team, might as well just give our money to them. It's like, hey, look, like in this situation, if I'm playing. If the Knicks are playing the Lakers, a great example. The Knicks are playing the Lakers at MSG. We're paying money at MSG. How much of that goes back to the Lakers? I know some of it goes back to the NBA, but how much does it go back to the Lakers? Because you're paying to see LeBron play. You're paying to see Doncic play. I'm like, yeah, I'll pay $100 for the tickets to see him play. But if I'm paying them, why am I paying the Knicks? They're not giving me anything. I'm just getting them. I just want to see them play at that point. So I might as well just pay the Lakers and let them get a little bit of the proceeds. If that's a situation where, honestly, that should probably be a thing with the rest of the organ, like the NFL, NFC, NFL, MLB, NFL, and MLB, NBA, and NHL, maybe even MLS for that matter too. If you're playing, if like with valuable pricing, if those prices go up for a team coming in, some of that money should go back to the opposing team at that point too. Yeah, I know it goes up, some of it back up to the leagues themselves, but some of it should go to the opposing team at that point as well too. Because what's the purpose at that point? Why do variable pricing? If I know I'm going to pay for a crappy team, and now they're playing a crappy team, and I'm paying like $20 instead of $100, I mean, fine, then I'll do that too. But in this situation, if you're going to do that, do variable pricing, then pay some of the opposing teams that way. You're getting that money for it because the opposing teams are coming there. So I don't know. I'm just ranting on at this point, but let me know your thoughts. I mean, honestly, do you think these players, like athletes, are self-entitled? Even if they don't prove anything, they're entitled to air out their dirty laundry and like call out coaches. If they lost the respect, that's what the general manager is for. That's what the owners are for at that point. You should go to them and say, hey, look, they lost the respect. You're gonna have to do something, or two, coaches have to fix it themselves, or managers, they're gonna have to fix it themselves. I don't know. That's my. I don't know. It's like when Tua said that, I think it kind of irked me that this is a dude that's airing out dirty laundry, and like he's airing it out where he thinks he has the right to air it out when he doesn't, when I know he has not earned that right. He feels he's entitled to, but in reality, even though he's supposed to be a leader, if you're leading, you might as well take ownership of like some of the issues you've done that created at that point as well too, with all those interceptions. He's not owning up to that. So honestly, yeah, it kind of triggered me, unfortunately. This thing kind of triggered me. But I'll leave it at that. If you have a question or a comment about this, please leave it in the comment section. I do read all my comments. I do respond to them all when they warrant a response. If you like my video, please hit the like button. If you like my content, please hit the subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Or not hit subscribe, but subscribe. But you don't have to turn on the notifications. But with that, I'll leave it at that. As always, unfiltered. As always, unedited. And of course, always unrehearsed. Until next time.